Taurus, September is turning into something pretty freaking exciting for you guys. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Transformational Tarot as part of my Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life series. So excited to be connecting with you guys today. And Tauruses, it's going to be a really powerful month for you. I feel it's going to be internal, and how you choose to externalize that is all on you. So we are going to be pulling an overarching theme card from the Spiritual Awakening Oracle deck, and this is from Dr. Erin Fall Haskell. And then the card deck that spoke to me with you today was the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. And unfortunately, I don't have a box for it. It's a box within a box right now. So let's get to it. Wow. Okay. So I really do feel that this is a month where there's going to be a lot of internal reflection, internal expression, focusing on what you are actually going to be intentionally externalizing in, I want to say, in the fall. So I feel like September is going to be a bit of a preparatory month for you in a lot of ways. Not to say that you're not going to have things to do and action oriented stuff, but I feel like everything you're doing this month is going to have a component of you looking at it and saying, and so why am I doing this? Why am I choosing this path? Why am I moving in this direction? And I feel like that is actually setting the tone for some major changes, some major choices that you're going to be making in the fall. So let's see what I love it, the law of love. Your heart knows no bounds. This makes a lot of sense because I feel like this is really what you're wanting to step into, what you're wanting to express. You are, I want to say, heart-based. You lead with the heart, so much so that sometimes I want to say the heart doesn't get tired, but I feel like you get a little tired sometimes because there's almost like an expectation, because you give so much, you really want that in return, and nothing wrong with that at all. I think that's just life in general. But I think sometimes you feel like what you give and what you receive are two different things, and that you sometimes can get a little bit disappointed and maybe a little despondent, that you start to settle a little bit for, people just aren't capable of giving me what it is that I'm really needing or seeking, or I need to compartmentalize it. I get a little bit from this one, a little bit from that one, a little bit from the other one. And then I have to kind of find a way to make it whole. So I feel like you are really going to be leaning in and doing all of your, how would I say that, your kind of evaluation. You're going to be doing that through the lens of love. And that's going to be your focus. So when you are doing those reflections, looking within and saying, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I making this choice? Why am I saying yes to this request? You're going to be looking at it through the lens of love. Am I doing it because I really love this person? Am I doing it because I love myself? Is there maybe no love here? And so then the question becomes, maybe I don't need to do this or say yes to this. I feel there's just going to be a lot of that reflection coming up. So where are you at in the present right now? Your current transformation. Where are you in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Oh my God, I love it. 9 of Pentacles. So I feel very much that you are, in general in your life, feeling abundant, feeling excited for what is at play in your life. I feel like for a lot of you, there's so much to look forward to, so much that you have planned and put into place. And I mean, this is a great Taurus card too, because you're eating grapes, right? It's that's the sensuality of things, enjoying the fruits of life, the finer things in life. And I feel very much that you are in a space of gratitude, deep gratitude to yourself, to the people around you, to source energy, to your angels and guides, to all of it. And I do feel that you're going to have those, I like to say it's those profound moments where it's like the Grinch who stole Christmas. His heart grew 3 times that day, plus 2. Like, we have those moments where the heart swells and we just recognize, the beauty of all of it. How we are loved, we are cared for, we are, wanted and desired and needed and enjoyed, and all of those things, and that we do all of those things with others. I feel also like this is going to be great foundation for you in terms of this evaluation that I'm seeing going on, the internal evaluation, because you can also look at it from the lens of love. Your heart knows no bounds, which means I feel all of these things. And so my love cup is full and overflowing. And for those of you, as I'm talking, who are saying, God, I wish my love cup was full and overflowing, this is the month to really get into that space of filling the love cup. And I want to say this, the secret sauce is gratitude. Gratitude for all that you have and gratitude for all that you are, with or without other people, in group, in community, and as your own, sort of individual universe, right? The pink is really significant to me because the pink is one half of the heart chakra. It is the unconditional love, self-care, self-compassion, self-forgiveness piece. And I feel like when we're talking about your present moment, you are very much grateful to be a part of all of it. You're grateful to be, I want to say, in service in a way that makes sense to you. And that's something that you're going to want to, I want to say, to keep going with, right? That's something that is worthy of maintaining. We're going to see how the rest of the cards flow out. But I want you to think about this in terms of your foundation, because we're ever evolving, right? And this is going to shift and change too, but it doesn't have to become the opposite, right? When you're approaching everything from love, your heart knows no bounds. So use that in your evaluation. If you want more of that, this is the foundation. Lean into what already is so that you can expand and make more. Wow, that's an incredible place to start. I feel like I would say to you, what part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? I want to say this feels like you're rising. You're rising. So this current space that you're in is supportive of what you're building for yourself this month. I love that. Oh, I love that. Here's your catalyst. What's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? The devil. Yeah, look at this. You're not enough. Why even try? I have to. That's a big thing for me. Obligation versus responsibility. I'll be forgotten. Fear, self-doubt, should, I can't. Don't deserve to be heard. Fear of change. No one cares. I'm worthless. Everyone hates me. So you are your own worst enemy, is what I'm hearing with this card. And I'm feeling really strongly that when we talk about this energy, we just talked about how you're in this space of feeling connected and feeling, a part of, and feeling that abundance. Your love cup is full and overflowing. And if it isn't, this is the challenge that you want to look at. So if you are feeling this is the self-sabotage. If you aren't feeling this and want to feel this is the self-sabotage. So it's the inner voice. And I keep talking about that. This is an inner game for you this month. September is internal, so that you can determine how you want to externalize the internal desires. And so I feel like the devil is coming up to say, it's time to actually shh. This is what I keep hearing, shh. Don't listen to the monkey mind. Don't listen to the ego voice, because I feel like the ego voice says, I've been feeling this for a while and I don't want it to go, and so I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's almost like there's a fear of the evolvement. But you're at a place where, like I said, you can work on expanding this evolvement. You can work on expanding this gratitude, this connection, this abundance. You can work to keep that love cup full and overflowing. This is the old way. This is the old way, waiting for the other shoe to drop, expecting things to stay exactly the same way and exactly as they are all the time. This is what is going away. You know, the old is the old, the past is the past. The law of love, your heart knows no bounds, but your heart also always moves forward. Look at her. You know, her heart is beaming. She's looking back to the past, but she's sending love to it because she's ready to be free. She's opening her heart, right? She's dancing, she's moving. So I feel like the devil is coming up and coming through to say, no more are you going to pee on my parade. You know, this is not the way things are going to be. I'm not going to self-sabotage. You have no place anymore. The shadow right now where this is concerned has no place, because the shadow is afraid of its own shadow. And I'm not playing that game anymore. I want to make more of this. I want to sustain this. So I acknowledge this. I bring this to light so that I bring awareness to it, and then I can attach love to it. Ego, I love you. I don't like you right now. I don't agree with what you're saying. And I'm going to show you that I'm going to do it in a different way. And you can come along and join me for the ride, but you got to sit in silence. You know, you can't be a backseat driver. That's just the way it is. So you're having a come to Jesus moment with your shadow. Here's your deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Oh, yes, the Empress. So abundance. Like, I mean, oh my God, right? Like, this is the mother of abundance, right? This is the major arcana of abundance. This is also, the Empress is Venus. You are ruled by Venus. So in essence, this could be a card that is attributed to you. Your card is the Hierophant, typically, but the Empress definitely can fall into a Taurus energy. So when we are talking about the deep root here, I feel like it's a worthiness issue for you. You're enjoying it, you're loving it, but all of a sudden it's like you snap out of it for a second. There's an errant thought that comes up and it just kind of pees on your parade. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have this. Maybe, like, look at all the other people in the world. Look at everything else that's going on. Maybe I shouldn't have this. What makes me so special that all of these wonderful things are turning out for me? I would say to you, turn it around and say, this is my birthright. Abundance is my birthright. I feel the Empress energy, or the Venus energy, the Empress energy is coming to me right now because I am worthy and deserving of all of this. So I feel I don't have to go too deep into this. I feel that this card is coming up as a reminder of who you really are. As a reminder of the fact that I have all of these things because I am worthy and deserving of it. Because I have chosen to manifest it. I've chosen to receive it. Because I give love and receive love in kind. So there's going to be a bit of a reconnection. I feel a lot like this internal work is really kind of repurposing the ego, bringing the ego into alignment with the heart's wishes and the heart's dreams. And it's going to require a little bit of shadow work. It's going to require, a real, come to Jesus moment with yourself, a real evaluation of the truth of, how do I speak to myself? And is that really truthful? Is it helpful? Is it truthful? And, sometimes when you say something and you say, well, actually, yeah, that is truthful. I did screw this up, or I did screw that up. Okay, then go into the shadow and do some healing work. Shine some light on it. Bring that love. Shine the light of love on it. Because the shadow just wants to be a part of. The ego just wants to be a part of. It does not want to die. And it senses that you're evolving out of the need to have the ego in the form that it's in. The ego feels like it has to protect you all the time, but you're in a space where you don't need that level of protection. You don't need to be protected from your goals, from your desired outcomes. No, you're not necessarily going to know exactly how it's all going to unfold, but you've been through a lot of growth throughout your whole life, and you're still here and you're still breathing. So it's a shift in perspective, and you're just bringing the devil along for the ride, right? You're bringing that ego along for the ride and saying, don't worry, I got you. I got you. We're okay. We deserve this. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Oh, interesting. So we have the 9 of Wands. Sorry, that's not 9 of Wands. That's 9 of Wands. So I feel, Taurus, like you guys are just always in a space of like driving yourselves, needing to push the needle, needing to take it a little step further, to do it a little bit better than the time before. And of course, like nothing wrong with that, but I want to say, what's the motivation? Like, what is the reason behind that? If the reason behind that is service oriented, and I feel joy when I do this and I want to give back and pay forward, then by all means, dive on in. But I feel more like this is connected to the I'm not worthy. Why do I get all of this stuff when everybody else is, struggling, kind of thing, that comparison-itis. This typically is a card of control, feeling in control, being out of control, wanting control, not wanting control. It's also a card of resilience. And as we can see here, the thing that sort of trips me up about this messaging is like the imagery reminds me of the 4 of Swords, that rest and that truce, because they're laying on a pillow. But what I feel here with the 9 of Wands is it's really saying, I've gotten the 9 Wands and I here and no further. Like, if I'm going to go further at this point, I absolutely have to rest. I absolutely have to stop and recharge. And I want to say there's a lot of self-care in that messaging. So perhaps this is what you're not doing. You're always pushing yourself or pushing it one step further. I feel like this is the message, and what's dying away is that recognition of, I don't need to push it one step further. It's okay if I take a rest and wait to go back and get that last wand, the 10th wand. It's not going to be, like I don't lose my human card if I don't get all of them in a row right now in this moment. And maybe with rest, I might be able to bring home 2. Or I might be, receiving clarity about something that's been wanting to come through for me, but I've been so distracted in, trying to get these wands that I'm missing the message. So I feel like what's dying away is the unhealthy drive, the subconscious, the devil drive, right? The ego wound that's driving the bus. Here's your highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. And I love this card. The breakthrough energy is always my favorite. I have a couple of favorites in this spread, but the breakthrough energy is always good. Oh, interesting. 2 of Swords. So I'm really feeling here that the message with all of this is about listening to the intuition. So much of you is intuitive. So much of you feels more so than you, I want to say, than you like see, or than you hear, or than like with your physical senses. So much of you feels and just knows. But I'm not seeing it, but I need the proof, but I need to feel like it's actually working or something really is happening here. Like, I feel like the highest Phoenix possibility here for you is in letting go of everything that you know, letting go of everything that you can prove, just letting it go. It doesn't have to be a part of this equation. And instead, you're stepping in, and she's blindfolded here. She's blindfolded not because somebody put a blindfold on her. She's blindfolded here because she doesn't want to see with her two physical eyes. She wants to see with her third eye. She wants to feel things in the body, which is why she's also blocking her chest, because she doesn't want anyone else's energy to influence what she's going to receive from source energy and from within her. So she's not blocking because she's in danger. She's blocking because she wants to be contained for the moment so that she is pure in her receiving, in the energy that she is receiving. Once she receives the messages, she can lower her arms, and the swords are a conduit here. Then she can lower her arms and she's got the information that she needs, but she's got to do this process. And I feel like that's exactly what you are stepping into, is recognizing I can give myself permission to rest. I can give myself permission to tune out the world a little bit, or to not have to be in everybody's energy all the time, 24/7, in order for me to actually be able to connect with myself and my path. And what did we say? The law of love, your heart knows no bounds. So it can go all sorts of places. You can be as big as you want, but you have to be able to receive the message and to have that exchange with your high self, that exchange with source energy in the universe, in order to be able to make that happen. So I feel that there is a heightening of your sensitivity that is coming up this month. And that's just delicious. Like, we'll take that. What's emerging for you? What's just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Wow. So coming full circle, and I think it's really interesting that we started off with a 9. Of course, we have 2 9s here, but 9s are endings, resolutions, conclusions. The world, not a 9, but the world is the sum total of, all that you have been working towards, right? It reminds me a little bit of the Fool's Journey, and it makes sense because at the beginning of the Fool's Journey, you're standing at the edge of the cliff, getting ready to start the journey. Well, now she's standing at the cliff, and it actually looks like, I'm not really sure, it looks like the hair is blowing over her face. At first, I thought she was looking backwards. And I thought, well, that would be fitting because like you're coming to the next precipice and you're still, sort of a part of the old, but actually she is facing the next journey, but she's like, hey world, look at me. I mean, like king of the world, right? Titanic energy here. I feel like what we're talking about here is, this is what you're stepping into, is not only are you coming to, sort of the sum total of what you've been working towards for this particular chapter or journey, but I feel like you're getting ready to take another leap. And I feel like it's a leap of faith that you're taking. The infinity sign is really prominent here because we are always in that infinite loop. We're always in a space of, I can do it over, or I can do it differently, or I can do it better next time. We live on a do-over planet. In a lot of ways, it's a planet of Groundhog Day, right? Going through the same freaking shit over and over again. But every time we do it, it's not circular, it's sporadic. And we, feel different levels. We learn at different levels and stages of it until eventually we've learned the lesson, and then we can move on to something else. That's what this feels like. You've come to the end of a lesson as a whole. Like, I want to say you're completing a spiral, not just, okay, I've come full circle and I'm going to do this again, but I'm just going to do it in a little different way. This is okay, I've done the spiralic journey and I'm at the peak of the spiralic journey, which means I'm ready for the next spiral. I'm ready for the next spiral. I love also that this card is black and white. I think that's really interesting because I feel like you going into this space and bringing space to you so that you can receive the intuitive guidance and expand your sensitivity through the law of love, right? Through your heart space. I feel is allowing you to navigate the illusion of this black and white world, the illusion of, I mean, the world is a dualistic 100%, but the illusion comes in, we have to live in the extremes. No, that's not true. We're actually here to live in the gray areas. We're actually here to bring color to the duality, to the black and white of the planet. We're here to bring the color. And I feel like that is what is emerging for you. You're getting ready to step into a new journey of, what color do I want to bring? And this is a 21, which breaks down into a 3, and that's creativity. So I feel that you are really stepping into a space and a place right now where you're looking at life and saying, how do I want to contribute externally? Oh my God, I was going to say extensionally. Like, no, externally. How do I want to contribute externally now that I have a very solid understanding of what's happening on the inside, right? Internally, what my internal message is. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Oh my God. Okay, so just going to point out, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the Empress, and I said they're similar energies. Now we have 2 of Swords and the High Priestess, also very similar energies. So talking about intuition. She's got the pomegranate open up here, and it actually is, I like that it's bleeding onto her hand a little bit. And the rest of her is just, it's an outline of her. Why is it an outline of her? Because she is channeling right now. Because she is in her channeled space. I'm just going to bring this up so that you can see it a little more clearly. She's channeling. Why is she channeling? Because she now has the ability. She's cleared out the clutter from her energetic field. And she is fully stepping into and is fully committed to being a conduit for divine energy, divine love. And she's doing it understanding that there is a shadow that needs to be integrated while I am here in the physical body having this experience. So when we talk about, like, this is you in this process, this I feel is what you're leaning into. This is what in September is your challenge. And I feel like it's a challenge not because you suck at it or because you don't understand yourself. I feel like it's a challenge because in order for you to step into this fully, you've got to kind of let go of some of this other stuff. And again, I come back to, there's a part of you that's a little bit nervous because you like all of these things, but there's also that part of you that is kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. So to fully commit to this, it means you're letting go of a component of your, like your physicality, the being in the body. It's you're thinking in terms of like as above, so below. You're thinking in terms of compartmentalization. I can't have this if I'm having this. But we're here to integrate all of it. And I feel like that is you in this process, is committing to this, trusting and knowing that as you integrate, you're still going to have all of these things. Remember, you are the one that brings color to your next chapter, to your next journey. You get to determine the color, but you can't determine that color until you actually explore some of the shadow, until you allow yourself to get more into the body, giving yourself permission to take advantage of all that this world is offering to you at this time. Very interesting. So the word I would say here, are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? You're resisting this. So I would say, don't resist. What we resist persists. Look at the beautiful colors here. Like, just look at the colors. This would look great here, right? This would look great. So don't be afraid to integrate these realizations that you're having. It's not going to take away from what you have. It's only going to add to it. but it's understanding that you get to choose how you add to it. There's almost an energy here of like you empowering yourself. The high priestess wants to empower you, and she wants to empower you. It's interesting, you got the empress and the high priestess. Like, this comes before this. This gets integrated into this. Don't be afraid of that process. Like, this is you. All of it can be, but you have to commit to it. And sometimes, when we commit to something, especially if it's something that we're learning, for example, for the first time, when we're learning it, we don't always know. So sometimes we can, make missteps. We can't integrate because we have to focus solely on this. But eventually, it gets by rote. You get more comfortable with it. And then you're not having to focus so much on just this. And then you can be both things. So don't be afraid of the pre-integration process is kind of how I want to put that. And 2 and 2, I think that's really interesting as well. So you are dealing with the duality of as above, so below. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Oh my God, your third 9. So 9s, again, endings, resolutions, conclusions, but also in service energy. I feel here like this is letting you know that you have to get out of your head. That your monkey mind, your ego voice is not serving you. So if we look at the 9 of Wands, and in this depiction, she's resting. Remember, I told you it's almost like the 4 of Swords energy, right? Needing a rest or a truce, recognizing that it's okay for me to take a bit of a break. I know I've got just one left, but I don't always need to push it. And it's all right. That wand is still going to be there tomorrow when I have more energy. I feel like this is the same message. Get out of your head. You're trying to solve heart problems with the head. But really the heart is driving all of this. And remember, what you're starting off with is this. So you don't have to work to get this. This is already here. This is all, I want to say, to enhance it, to maintain it. And you're doing that through your heart space, through your love. So when we talk about that circles of support, I feel like this isn't about other people as much as this is how you can support yourself. And I feel it's a very clear message. Get out of your head. Let go of the anxiety. Let go of the worry. Me being an anxious person, having a lot of anxiety, I know it's so much easier said than done. But what are some of the practices that you can do to get out of the anxiety and the worry? You are a conduit for divine messaging. Trust in what it is that you're receiving, and the anxiety goes away. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row to do this. You've already started out with a solid path, and your heart knows the way. Love knows no bounds. Your heart knows no bounds. The law of love. It knows the way. So get out of your head. Your head is not helping you right now. Your head is hindering you. Your head is this, right? Your head is the ego. Hopes and fears about your shift right now. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? This is always a good one too. Strength. What's so funny? I just said to you about the ego, and as I was saying it, because the devil card, yes, the devil deals with ego in a big way, but the strength card actually for me is the ego card. And I was thinking in my head as I was saying it, actually the strength card is a really good analogy for the ego. And here you have the strength card. I love it. Another infinity sign. So we are really here dealing with your experience as a soul, your soul blueprint here. What have I come to experience and to express and to explore? What have I come to share with my, fellow tourists? Because we're all tourists here, right? On this planet. So when we're talking about those hopes and fears, I feel like you are really dreaming of being able to tame the beast within. You are dreaming of not having to be in this space all the time, but you don't give yourself enough credit. there's a part of you that feels very weak. There's a part of you that feels like other people can have this, and I want it, but I don't know how to do it because I'm in comfort, or because I get a lot of these things and I'm enjoying a lot of these things. So that must make me weak. No, I feel like this is coming through so strong to say to you, you being able to receive all of this is actually a huge spidey sense. It's a huge skill that you can teach others, because this life is about the law of love, the frequency of love, love in all things. And we all can co-create what it is that we want to experience. We all have the opportunity to connect with the universe and say, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And here's how I do it. I do it by receiving. I do it by being grateful for everything that I have. I do it because the abundance is here. Why wouldn't I take advantage of this? Why wouldn't I? And why wouldn't you? And here's how you do it. Simply by being grateful when you receive something. So I feel that there's a part of you that somehow feels like you have to like tame the beast and find a way to make friends and make peace with your ego. Sure, absolutely. But you're looking at it from the perspective of others have that ability, but I don't. And I feel like that's kind of what needs to shift, right? That's your fear, is that if I tame the beast, will I lose all of these things? And I know it sounds a little convoluted, but I feel like that's at the core of what is driving you, especially this month. I feel like this is what your guides are really wanting you to release, is this idea that somehow having things or being in an abundant space makes you weak or makes you a target. That's not what this is about. Lead with love. Love is the strongest bond that there is. And your heart is strong. Your heart can handle all sorts of things. It's an illusion, broken heart. Yes, we feel, broken heart, but really the heart never breaks. The heart doesn't break. It's how we experience, the physicality of disappointment and loss. But the heart is strong. The heart contains us. The heart holds us. Interesting. Okay, so if you stay on course, who will you be on the other side of this journey in September? What is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Oh, I love it. So we have another 8, and you have the 8 of Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles, you have 3 9s, you've got 2 8s. There's just so much synchronicity. You've got the World card, which breaks down to a 3, and you've got the Empress, which is a 3. All of these things are here for a reason. Everything's happening for a reason. You had 2 2s as well. So what does all of this mean? It means that there's a very specific sort of sequential path that you're on this month. There is soul blueprint lessoning that you are following, lessons that you are following. And when we come to this 8 of Pentacles is I want to say it's the mastery card, leading into mastery, doing the work. This is the beauty of being on purpose with your soul's path and journey. 8 also, I have to say, is abundance. So we've been talking a lot about abundance. You started off with abundance, and I feel like by the end of this month, you're going to end up with abundance, and you're going to be working on how to make more of it. So all those fears about, like, if I tame the beast, I'm weak. If I, receive things when other people, have less or have none, I'm afraid it's going to be taken from me, or who am I to be receiving these things? Who am I to be wanting these things? All of this is what you are having to weed through. And it's that path of mastery. And I feel like you're doing it. This is also the card of higher learning, higher education, right? So I feel like there is a higher learning that is happening here. It's almost like in September, you are revisiting your soul blueprint, your divine blueprint. You are revisiting, you're evaluating to say, okay, I came here to do this and this and this. Okay, I've done parts of this. I completed all of this. Here are the things that are next. Ooh, I have not done any of this at all. This is that next leap and that next level. And it's not from a place of judgment. And it's not driving, you driving yourself because you've got to check everything off the list. It's understanding that this is all part of the process, and it can be very organic. You can still have all of the delicious grapes and enjoy, the fruits of the planet and still be the high priestess. There's a lot of integration that's going on here. And I feel like it's all surrounding, now that I'm seeing the full picture, it's all surrounding your divine blueprint. This is a divine blueprint month where you are reflecting on and perhaps revising the divine blueprint, because you're getting ready to go into a higher level of learning, and you are ready for it. You are worthy of it, but you have to believe in that in yourself, and you have to give yourself the space to receive it all. Wow. Oh my goodness. Taurus, that is your transformational tarot for September. Big, big month. And I love it for you guys. If any of you are struggling at all with any of this stuff, please feel free to click on the link below, book a session. We can work through it. I got your back. This is some pretty big stuff, but very exciting. Trust in yourself and trust in source, because you've got this. Until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, we will see you on the flip side, and transform well.